Hi, we want to talk a little bit about the types of events that you can hold at your space. So, some venues are limited in the types of venues they'll take. For example, they, for some reason, because of permitting or whatever it might be, can't do weddings. Or some venues, for whatever reason, might not take business events. So, what we've created is a feature here that you can check the types of events that um, you can accept at your venue. And then you can give a price to each one of those, a venue rental or however you charge for your space. And you can give different pricing for different types of customers. So some venues, for example, might charge a little bit more for a wedding than they do for a business event. They may not. They may charge the same price. But if you do, what happens is from the planners, they will identify what type of event they're booking. And so they'll only be quoted the price for that specific type of venue. So you can have the same day and have different rental rates based on the type of customer that's booking your space. You can check here. It says what types of events can be held here. There's a little question mark right here. And it just says check all boxes that apply. So if you can have all three types of events, fantastic. If you only have one, two of them, whatever, just check all the ones that apply. If you charge different rates for different types of events, no problem. Enter different rates in each type of event. If your rates don't change, meaning you charge all the same rates for each one of the events, then simply enter the same rate in each category. Important. Planners will not see these variations in your rental rates, so that's important to know. This part of the process can be a little bit redundant, but luckily you only need to do it once, and it is one of the top two features that are important to get done on the site. So I'm going to get started here. We have the business events. So in the previous screen, we set up our rental rates. You can see them here. So this particular venue has fixed time slots, 6 a.m. to noon, 1 to 4, 5 to midnight, and these are all Monday through Sunday. So then the first one, again, now this is just for business events. You're going to select here, and then you're going to select the type of venue rental. Venue rental, food and beverage minimum, venue rental and food and beverage minimum, or per person. So select the one that's appropriate. Let's say, for example, in this case, you do venue rental and food and beverage minimum. So you put in your venue rental of $1,000 and your food and beverage minimum amount, which is an optional field, is 5,000, say, for example. Now you're going to see here it says additional required services. Now this is an optional feature. Again, you can see here, but audiovisual minimum or security is required, whatever that might be for this particular location. So in addition to the venue rental, in addition to the food and beverage minimum, are there any additional required services like day of coordinator, and that cost is $500, something along those lines. Okay, you have up to 3 different additional required services. So now we're in the 1 to 4 time slot. So again, venue rental, food and beverage minimum. Maybe that venue rental is the same, but we charge a little bit more for our food and beverage minimum. And we have the day of coordinator again for $500. Now we're going down here and we're going to the PM time slot, 5 p.m. to 12 a.m. All of this you set up in the previous screen. And again, food and beverage minimum, once again, could charge a little bit more. Pick whatever you want, 6,000, or maybe your venue rental here is 1,500 or 2,000 because it's the evening time slot and day of coordinator there. So that's for business. Now we're going to do the same exact thing for social events and also for weddings. So again, you want to check all that apply. Now these venue rental rates may be exactly the same, but you do need to do it for all of them because a planner is going to put in what type of event they're booking. And if you haven't indicated the type of events that you have, i.e. social or weddings, then it won't populate for them as an option. So you do want to go through, and like I said, this is a little bit of an arduous process, but it is important to make sure that you get all of the different rates in here. And then let's again, we're now down in the evening, and venue rental food and beverage minimum. And let's just again say maybe we charge 2,000 there and it's 6,000 food and beverage minimum. Okay, maybe your example, you don't host weddings, you're not allowed to, you're unpermitted, whatever that might be, then just don't check that box. If you do, check the box, and it's the same exact drop down, complete where it applies. As I mentioned in the earlier part of this tutorial, if you do charge a little bit more for a wedding, you can put that amount in there if you choose to do so, and again here, food and beverage minimum, and that's going to be, and maybe the food and beverage minimum is 7,000. And then the last box. So again, this connects with what you set up in the previous screen, whether you pick fixed or flexible rental. This will connect with that and allow you to put in the rates based on the time slots that you have selected. So I'm going to scroll back up here to the top. As you can see here, business, we've got the three time slots I've identified and the pricing. And then you have social events, i.e. Rehearsal dinners or reunions, fundraisers, other type of social events. And again, you can put that pricing in there, and it may be the same pricing or it may not. And then weddings, wedding ceremonies, and receptions. And again, you have the 3 time slots there. So again, all the time slots will be based on what you set up in the previous screen. I hope this has been helpful.